Hey everybody, so it's episode 27. This is from when I went on vacation with a fan, Nick. Hey Nick, he's who's in the first half. It's just me and him riding in a car going to a state competition. Again, this episode's going to be a little bit weird. It's going to be kind of divided into three parts. The first part is me and Nick talking in a car on the way to the state competition. The second little chunk is me, him, and Brian just kind of sitting around talking, shooting the shit at the state competition. And then the third part is me and my Uncle Brian just chilling, smoking, and talking a little bit. Also smoking completely legally, and just talking a little bit of life in his front yard. Thanks for listening. If you don't like these type of episodes, just, reach out and tell me. Thanks.
Time for the new show. It's time for the new show. So get back home, take off your fucking clothes, 'cause it's time for the new show.
Where are we going, Nick?
We're going to Wise, Virginia. Okay.
Kick your ass at a state cooking competition.
Yep. Blood Peppercorns, episode whatever.
It's not what we need to do.
Sorry.
Or is there?
Sorry, I don't know what to do with my hands.
You should drive the car we're in.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. Okay. Yeah, we're headed to Wise. Going to do this. It's the chilling and grilling in the Glades. I think this is like my third time cooking this state contest.
How many state contests?
How many state contests have I cooked?
Yeah, like total.
Oh, okay. So I've got maybe like 8, 9, 10, something like that. I don't know. It's not a whole lot, but I've probably been doing it about 3 years. I started off doing like 1 or 2 for the first year, and then I've just gradually progressed. This year I should be able to do 5, or at least 5, maybe 6 total, give or take.
Do you need all those for the circuit?
Well, I don't really do the points chase or any of that stuff yet. I know there's a lot of the pro guys do. I'm just not that deep into it yet. To do the points chase, you're going to have to cook at least, I don't know, maybe 20 to 30 events.
Oh, jeez.
And yeah,
so it's a job.
Yeah, it's a job. Like my buddy Jamie, I was talking to him at Johnson City there about a month ago, and he was telling me that he's already done, I think it's like about 13 so far this year already. And he got to go to the World Food Championships this year, and I think it was maybe in March or something along those lines, maybe early March. They did because they had to postpone everything due to COVID, because when COVID hit, I didn't do any competitions or any cooking at all. So
yeah, this is my first one.
Yeah. Tell me what your thoughts are. Like, are you anxious or nervous? Like, I'm not really.
Well, I feel like everything's gonna be fine, but the only issue is so subjective.
Yeah, that's true.
It may be a 10 for me, but a 6 for someone else.
That's
so
very
we'll
true.
Out.
That's very true. Well, and that's the whole thing, is like, once it's in the box, like, and it's gone, like, there's nothing you can do with it. It's just, you have to let it go and hope maybe you hit a good judging table, because sometimes they call them angel tables and devil tables. Like, the devil tables are just the ones where you've got like maybe 1 or 2 judges that's got a bad attitude or just super picky, and just they'll score you low and you're screwed, man. And like I said, if you get anything lower than like maybe an 8, you're done. Like you are done, no questions asked.
In any of them?
Pretty much, yeah. In any of them, like you get anything lower than an 8 in all 5 criteria, you're done. I mean, you probably won't even.
Do you ever see perfect scores?
Sometimes, but it's really hard to get when, and especially at the bigger contest where everything's moving so fast, as from the judging perspective, like perfect scores are really hard to get. And see, and everything you can judge all the way up to a 10 in like appearance, texture, tenderness, and then overall impression, and then there's taste. I think it's five criteria. And then the taste can have like a 0.9 on it, so you can do like a 10.9, and then like that's the ultimate perfect score, is like all 10s and then 10.9. I don't know if anybody could hit that, but it would probably be pretty close.
I think it's messed up. They give you overall, presentation, but you can't garnish the steak.
Yeah.
So
well,
what's the how do you get that presentation? Do I need to stand it up?
No. Well, that's. I know that's weird, but it's called meat modeling. So anything that's sorry. But
Are you talking about overall presentation?
oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so with the steak, just having to put the steak in the box and that's it is actually a blessing, believe it or not. Because in the whole competition barbecue world, you do have to have an element of presentation. And what that is you can have greenery, which is like parsley. Usually what everybody does is make like a lettuce base. They'll take and like make lettuce wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And then what they'll do is just put that on the bottom, then they'll do a layer of parsley on top of that, and then you do your meats on top of that, and you do kind of like you really are trying to make it
if we can do that, I would find a big beef shoulder like bone, and then plate it on top of that.
Well, see, no, that's the thing with the barbecue. You can only have the garnish and then the meat in the box. That's it. There can be nothing else.
That's garnish.
Well,
garnish seems very open-ended here.
Maybe, I guess. I mean, now with like the ancillary stuff, like here with the anything bacon, you can garnish in that box. Because it does it, you can put whatever you want to in there because it's open season. And like with the anything bacon, it'll be really impressive to see like what kind of some people come up with, and that's pretty cool too. If you kind of get to know the people beside you and they're doing the ancillaries, you get to try some of the stuff that they turned in and kind of see,
When it said anything bacon, I thought it was basically a bacon cooking competition. Like
well, I mean, it pretty much is. It's like anything you want to make. I mean, you can make a damn pie with bacon. You can make, anything like a pizza with. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's just
actually
whatever you want to present.
A tomato pie with bacon would be good.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. But now bacon has to be the star of the show. Like you can't play like footnote to the whole tomato, like you see. So it has to be the star of the show. So
I don't know nothing about it then.
Well, no, I mean it's whatever the ingredient is. Like they did a box down there in Johnson City. It was a mystery box.
I would do.
Yeah,
I would do.
It's like Chopped or something. Yeah, like I mean, it's just like they gave them just a mystery box and it's like whatever you can make in it, it has to have at least a piece of every ingredient in there. And like I can't remember, they were making some crazy stuff with that. God, I can't remember what all I got to try. But they were passing around some of the desserts that was in one of the ancillary categories, man. And there was some brownies or something we got, man. Those things was fire. They was good. Like it's crazy. You'll get little bites of stuff like that people let you try and stuff. You kind of get to know your neighbors down here. So, but I'm telling you, man, it's a lot of good food will be going around. It really is. Like none of the food's bad or anything. It's just it's all different. It's
That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and I mean, like even the steaks that we cooked last night for our practice run, like you saw how different they were, and just the flavor and texture and stuff like that. Like, well, not the texture so much, but like the flavor profiles were significantly different. And you wouldn't think that, would you? With like steaks, you'd be like, so many steaks, it's all the same. And it's kind of bad, but with the barbecue world, it kind of does do that a little bit with like the KCBS stuff. Is like you judge, and like a lot of the cooks kind of do the same type of deal or same setup with some of the best award-winning chicken, but it's all kind of similar, and like it seems like with the steaks, like I notice more where it's just the one thing, like you notice more flavor profiles or more difference, because I've judged one event too. I hope to plan to judge at least one or two events a year, steak events, and then try to cook in maybe 5 or 6, but it's a lot of fun. It really is.
It's my first competition. I'm just hoping to.
Yeah.
And if I get 1st through 10th, I get a raise.
Hey.
Because then they can put on the restaurant door, award-winning SEA chef on duty.
Well, I would want like a patch. Do you get like a patch you can wear on your uniform? Just
Our
so
uniforms
you can, like,
are just t-shirts.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like you need a special uniform now.
I need a special apron. That's what I need.
Yeah, you need like a special apron that's got like a little patch on it that nobody knows not to screw with this apron. That's Mikey's apron. Don't touch it, or
Aprons are. Have you ever bought an apron?
I've never bought like a real one. I've got cheap ones.
They're expensive.
But like the leather ones, like the butcher, like those things look legit, man. But
they're nice.
They look so expensive.
Like,
they're like $80 or something.
Yeah, that one's about. I didn't buy that one. I was given that one.
Yeah.
Because I like aprons that go past my knees. I don't want the one that covers my dick and nothing else.
Now, see, I'm the exact opposite. I like dick up aprons. There's just I want the damn midriff
It
aprons.
keeps the grits off my dick.
Yeah, there you go. But no, But no, I just got some cheap aprons that usually everybody gives me and stuff like that. Like most of my stuff, like, you know, I use the cheap stuff. So
Because in Charleston we have a thing called Food and Wine.
Mm-hmm.
Basically an event. Mm-hmm. And the best part about that, all the chefs that work it get a really badass apron from U.S. Foods.
Really? That's pretty
Like
cool.
last year was a nice pastel pink,
Mm-hmm.
and I just, U.S. Foods on it. It just looks good. It's a high quality apron.
You should try to go work it or something, man. Go volunteer for it.
You can't really, it's from
You have
restaurant
to
to
be,
restaurant.
you have to be invited, like your restaurant.
I'm not
has to go.
invited, but it's like, if the chef's going, it's like, I'm a line cook. I'm not like a chef, so I'm not going.
Oh, really? Oh,
They're sending the big guys in.
Let me tell you, me and my wife, we got to know this U.S. Foods chef, and he invited us to a food show in Roanoke that they had probably about 3 years ago. And dude, I'm telling you, that is one of the craziest and best events I've ever been to. Mm-hmm. Like basically, you just go in, and I mean, it's just food everywhere you turn, and it's something different, and it's all delicious.
We got something like that called bacon and bourbon. And it's basically the same thing. Everybody's making stuff with bacon.
Yeah.
Everybody has stuff with bourbon. And working that event's the best, because once you're out of food, you can wander around with a glass and everybody fills it up.
Yeah, whoa, man.
It is. I had a dude come over and pour, he had a ghost pepper and honey bourbon. Really good. Now it wasn't spicy, but like you could feel where like a pepper would be. And at some point he walked over and just started pouring it in my mouth. Just giving it away.
Just like here, just chug it. Yeah, man, it's those food shows. Like, I'd love to go to more of that stuff. And I was even talking to some of my other buddies a while back about these cooking contests. Like, I want to do some of those food challenges. There's a chef I met. I think he's around maybe Charleston. His name's Trip Ryan. I don't know if Trip Ron.
Somebody probably knows him.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
But he travels around with Tribal Fire Grills a lot and does a lot of cooking contests for them. But he was telling me about these, like, I can't remember. They just called them, like, food matches or something. Like, basically, you just show up to these, like, it's a small little event. And see, the thing with, like, the one that we're doing today, it has a sanctioning body. Like, it's a professional organization, like the KCBS. Like, it has a board of directors, and, there's, things like that.
Fun.
Like, it's pretty...
Which
I
I
guess
like.
it's about as serious as you can take it, I guess,
Which is nice to have that, because when they're doing that, you can be like, oh, okay, so there are set rules for every competition.
Yeah, and
like this one allows garnish, this one doesn't want garnish, this one says no whatever. This one wants grill marks, this one wants an cast, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and you'll pick up on a lot of that when we go through the cooks meeting and stuff, because it's. They explain a lot of that, and they make everybody listen to the rule, or not the rules, I think, or they got a tape that they play, and everybody listens to.
I gotta sit down with Brian and have him tell the story when he went.
Oh God! Yeah, Brian likes to go, man. I don't know how much he remembers of going, but
I've heard that story 6 times, and it gets better every time.
Yeah, he got pretty wild that night. That was a pretty crazy competition. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. It's a lot of camaraderie, and believe it or not, it really is like a family-centered organization.
They got kid events.
Well, they're big on kids, man. They're big on like having kids do stuff, because like they say that that's the future cooks and stuff, and even the kids pork chop. All the cooks refer to them as steaks, not pork chops, just to kind of prep the kids to get and usually the age limits for that's like I think it's like 5 to maybe 12 or something. And so they
I'll judge that one.
I have judged a pork chop event. I did it Whitesburg, Tennessee, a couple months ago, and they had 3 entries, and actually the kid who won, he had a glaze on his, and I'm friends with his dad, and that's a guy I was talking about earlier who goes around and cook, and he won it. It was good. It was really good. It had a nice little glaze on it, and that's what we've been doing with the boys. Has been practicing.
So you twin kids?
Yeah, well, yeah. Let's see. Is McDonald's this way, I think?
I think it's to the right.
To the right, okay.
So there you are at Woodstock, titties out.
No. What were I tell you? like, oh, it's just tell you the one time I'd ever tried mushrooms was at like Woodstock '99, and I don't know, it was this dude just selling random mushrooms, like out in that whole tent city, like you can kind of find whatever you wanted.
You know, there's strains of them, right? It's not just like mushrooms. There's like penis envy is apparently the best one.
Penis envy? That's what it's called?
That's what it's called, penis envy.
Shit. Oh, I think we gotta get off the exit right here. But anyways, yeah, like, I do remember, like, the first time I bought weed off this guy, he had a backpack on, and he's like, yeah, come over here to this, and, like, he unzipped the whole backpack, dude, and he had, like, 10 kinds of weed in it and stuff like that, and, like, he was like, this is strawberry kush, and that's what I got, and it was actually pretty decent, like, you didn't have to smoke much of it, and it pretty much knock your ass out. But then this one dude was selling mushrooms. I don't even know if they were real mushrooms. Like, I don't think they were. But my cousins, we took it right before the Metallica concert, and that was the craziest concert, man. Because it was like...
You were on mushrooms, that's why it was the craziest concert.
We were all on mushrooms, but it was like special effects by God or something, man.
Special effects by God?
Yes! No, because let me tell you, because like it was supposed to rain and like rain the concert out, right? And or there was like huge thunderstorms warned, but they were going to cancel the show, right? And so because it was going to get rained out due to the thunderstorms, well, everybody just kind of hung out, and they went ahead and went on and performed, and dude, like the wind just started blowing and stuff, I think right when he was playing maybe Enter Sandman. And oh my gosh, dude, it was just crazy. Like it was just like thunder and it was like thundering and lightning while they were playing. It was insane. But it was like, that's probably one of the best shows I've ever seen. Like I don't go to a whole lot of concerts, but that's probably one of the best.
I don't, but I do remember being in a marching band my senior year. No, there was a show we were doing and it was raining.
Yeah.
So instead, we still play Wasted in March, so we stood pretty much in a circle and just like played music in the rain. It was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, it was really cool. Then see, that's the thing, like, it never rained, and the wind picked up, and like, it was like, there was stuff like blowing around. Like, it wasn't super trashy, but I mean, it was kind of cool, just like where it was blowing around and stuff.
Special effects by God.
I'm telling you, man, it's the way it goes. And but yeah, I remember the first show we saw there at Woodstock '99 was James Brown, man. It was pretty cool. And he had like this old hype man come out first and like hype the crowd up. And I'm talking, this dude was an old hype man, like 80 years old. And like, cause me and my cousins, we were sitting there, I was like, damn, is that James Brown? That dude looks bad. I was like, damn, that's... but no, it wasn't. But he came out there and did his whole thing. That was really cool. And it was 5 of us. It was my 2 cousins, then 2 of their friends. And we had this one friend, Derek. He talked shit about Carson Daly from MTV. I don't know if you remember. This might be way before your time. But this is when Carson Daly was on MTV. And he talked shit. Oh, I hate that son of a bitch. If I see him, I'm going to punch him in the head and all this crazy stuff.
And Carson Daly was there.
Yeah, Carson Daly was there. Derek goes up to the fence and is like hanging out with him and talking to him. And they're like best friends. I'm like, you son of a gun. You talk crap for
punch him.
8 hours. 8 hours in a car from Virginia to New York. This is all we heard, and then now you're here, and you're like his BFF, and I'm like, you're crazy, but yeah. So it was really cool, and then they had raves at nighttime and stuff like that, and I went to a couple raves and stuff like that because I would just kind of like wander around, do my own thing, because there were so many people up there, man. Like literally, if you weren't like in a tight little crowd, you could turn around and like your people would be gone, like you couldn't find them. Like it was pretty intense with that stuff.
Well, that's why we like taking Frakes on places, because he's like 6'4".
That's what I was gonna say. Like I was wondering how tall he really was. I don't know if I'd ever heard.
He's huge.
Yeah.
Like he might be 6'5". He's somewhere up there. It's like if you need to find him, that's why you have him, because he's like a beacon.
Yeah, it's like a giant. Just hold your arm up. I need like like a little light.
We call him the Human Tower Shield.
The Human Tower Shield. That's pretty cool. But
the only concert I've seen was Ghost, BC.
I'm not familiar.
They're like they're Swedish, I want to say.
You go to some unique stuff.
Well, they do it all in English. It's not.
Yeah.
But it's basically like dark Catholic, but it's all tongue in cheek. He's like, it's really funny. Their music's pretty good. It's very Satan-y, but again, It is. It's very
They
like.
just sprinkle the Satan in there at the end, so you barely even know it's
Well, he
there.
dresses up like a pope, but he's doing stupid stuff, so it's all like they're not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
But if you didn't know who they are, I'm surprised there wouldn't be protests out beside him.
Really?
The worst part is the crowd sucked.
Well, I mean, it's just like the old Marilyn Manson stuff. Like, people used to protest that. My cousin, he used to go to Marilyn Manson concerts all the time and tell me about them. And,
Yeah.
like, there would be, like, church groups out there protesting before the shows. And
Same thing with Ozzy, but everybody loves Ozzy now.
yeah. Like, oh, yeah, you can put him on MTV and give him a family show, and he's everybody's hero.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Y'all forget all the Satan stuff he was doing?
Yeah, biting the head off bats and chickens and stuff.
He said
or
the
whatever.
bat thing was an accident.
Yeah. It just flew into my mouth.
Well, he said he thought someone threw a like a rubber bat, and his
Uh-huh.
first instinct was to grab him by its head off.
Yeah.
It was just a real bat.
Mm.
I don't know if I believe he snorted fire ants though. I don't think you could live after that.
I don't know if I could. My brain, your brain wouldn't be the same. That's for dang
Well, I
sure.
know his brain isn't the same. He should be dead.
Oh yeah, 100 times over.
Have you seen his show with him and his son?
No.
It's basically him and his son take a cross country road trip and just do things.
Just hang out, just like
It's funny.
That's pretty cool.
And they have an RV. His dad's like, and every episode is like,
does Ozzy drive that RV? I wouldn't want Ozzy driving anything.
it's his son. But it's always, every episode is, hey dad, I got us to do this thing. I'm not doing it. And then 2 seconds later, it's Ozzy doing it. Every time. This is
Swinging around on a zip line. Ah!
I'm not doing that. Ah, there he is.
Yeah.
My favorite's when they go see Robert the doll.
Oh really? I don't know who that is.
It's like some haunted doll shit.
Oh, like Annabelle?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think they even went and seen her too.
Really?
That's a good show. Love Ozzy.
Yeah, that Annabelle doll. I feel like it's kind of a rip though. After you see the movie, and then you see the real
Yeah,
doll.
it's a Raggedy Ann.
Yeah, it's like a Raggedy Ann, man.
I
It's
could
like,
whoop a Raggedy Ann's ass.
Yeah, like I wouldn't. I don't know. Like it's gonna have to sneak up on me. It's gonna have to like do a Chucky and like cut my calf or something.
Those movies are hilarious.
Yeah, like I feel like that's what it would have to do to really get me.
Nick, what's your favorite movie, Nick?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I kind of switch back and forth, but honestly, I like a lot of Bill Murray movies.
I met him once.
Did you really? Oh, well,
He lives in Charleston.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and actually, I'll go tell this real quick. The way I met him was I was leaving for work because where I worked at Anson. I was like, I'm going home, and one of the guys was like, Bill Murray's in there. I was like, bullshit, Bill Murray's not in there. Like, yeah,
Really?
Bill Murray's in there. And I go, and he is. So I listened to Bill Murray at the bar for an hour as he just talks about golf and
he's
movie.
a huge golfer.
And then I served him a bowl of nuts. So not only did I meet him,
You gave him some nuts.
I gave him D's.
These nuts.
D's.
Woo! Spicy.
Nah,
But no. Yeah, so there's a guy here, Adam Music, and he's friends with Sean Brock, right?
I know that name.
Okay. So Sean Brock used to get pork from Adam because Adam had a small pig farm here in Virginia. You drove past it when you came through Fort Chiswell. It was over on the right off the interstate, close to that mall. Well, the story I heard is Sean Brock does a party every year for his mom. Like he has his mom's birthday. It's a big deal for him, right? And he has a big party. Well, Adam Music went to it. Well, apparently Bill Murray showed up in a gorilla mask to Sean Brock's mom's party, and then Adam and Bill Murray got in a wrestling match during the party in the gorilla mask. So,
But you know what?
crazy.
No one will ever believe you.
No, there's a video of it.
Oh, there is a video.
There's a video of it. Yeah.
I was like, you can say that, but Bill Murray will deny it because he loves doing that to
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
Was it he takes a fry from your plate and says no one will ever believe you?
Mhm. Yeah, like there's a shirt made of that or
Yeah.
something, I believe. Yeah.
Such
But,
a good
yeah, no,
story.
they got a video of it, like him in a gorilla mask or something. But yeah, I'd definitely like to come down there and hang out. I want to go see that baseball team that's down there, the Savannah
River Dogs?
Banana.
Wait, what?
Is it the Savannah Bananas or something like that?
I don't
think?
know anything about that.
Yeah, like there's supposed to be a really good minor league team down there, I think. It's called the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, the one in Charleston's the River Dogs.
Yeah.
I've been there a couple times. You got that, and then I'm gonna start following hockey
Okay.
because there's a new team, the Seattle Krakens.
Okay.
They're already calling their stadium the Crack House.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to be on board from day one.
Yeah, I mean, if you
I've been
got
a
to-
Kraken fan.
You see these shakes? I've had these shakes for for 11 years. No, I like hockey a little bit. I'm not a huge hockey fan. I don't really follow much sports. Like
I don't either, but
Yeah.
I follow hockey
Yeah.
because it's the only sport where two dudes will beat the shit out of each other,
Yeah.
and they get a 5-minute penalty, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, that's like Brian. He could probably tell you everything about baseball, going back to freaking like 1989.
Yeah, he was
And,
showing me his baseball cards.
Yeah, and like know their names, know their stats, know everything about them. I was like, dude, I can't remember what happened last Tuesday. I don't know how the hell you remember when Jose Canseco hit a home run in 1992. But it's like, I was like, I can't do all that, man. But now I can probably legitimately tell you like who some of the best barbecue teams and like cooking teams out there.
Oh,
That's the type of stuff I can do. But like, I don't see how Brian does with the baseball.
I've got a wealth of knowledge on cartoons.
Okay.
I
What's
love-
your favorite cartoon?
Steven Universe,
Steven, really?
made by Rebecca Sugar.
Yeah. Okay. I've watched some Steven Universe.
Me and her got the same birthday.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay.
No, I watched that. I watched it and I was like, I watched it pretty much the whole time it was through.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't it like they were supposed to have like the first gay marriage on like
They did.
national? Yeah. Like it's supposed to be like the first one on national cartoon one on national TV or something.
And that's the thing, it's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
I mean, if you didn't know the show, you wouldn't think it was women anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another name for that show is Gay Space Rocks.
That's the street name of it. Gay
Yeah.
Space Rocks. Okay.
But it's a good show.
Well, no, my kids have watched it a lot. I mean, I've recorded for them and stuff too. Because I've recorded some of the specials and stuff like that.
Well, what they have to do is like, it is a kid show. It's on a kids network.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of shows, what they'll do is they'll start off for kids, but then they start as the kids get older. So does the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened with me.
Age it up well, and that's the whole like the Harry Potter thing.
Mm-hmm.
There's a thing where I saw it as the movies progress, they get progressively darker
Mm-hmm.
as the plot develops and gets older. I guess
Was it? But yeah, that Adventure Time is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
You ever watched The Midnight Gospel on Netflix?
I've watched like half of it. Yeah, that's the.
I love that show. I've listened to his podcast all the time now, Duncan Trussell.
Duncan Trussell. That's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah, I've watched it a couple times, man.
That
It's
last
pretty-
one is the best. Like the last
Really?
episode in there, it's good.
I've watched about half of it. He's all about the whole soul journey of the soul and all that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Like the show is, you know how you have shows that have background noise?
Yeah.
I feel like this is an audio show that has like visual noise. Like everything that's going on is like, you're not supposed to pay attention to that. It's just kind of happening.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess that's the whole idea behind it. It's because that's what the episodes are. Is like episodes from his podcast or guest, right?
Mhm.
And then they just made a show with it.
The last
How-
one is with
yeah.
his mom who died.
Oh man,
Oh, you want to get sad?
that's got to be intense.
It is.
That's got to be pretty intense. Like I'd have to prepare for that one mentally. I feel like.
Oh no, it's a sad one. But
Yeah.
those I really like those three shows.
Yeah. Okay.
But like even the older cartoons, like Ed and Eddie,
yeah.
made by what's his name? I'm gonna forget it now that I'm talking about it. He made that show on a bet because he makes adult animation, like more gory stuff than porno stuff. But he's
Yeah.
like Danny Antonucci. Yeah, Danny Antonucci. That's his name, Antonucci. And he pretty much got bet you can't make a kids show, and he did. He made Ed and Eddie the longest running cartoon on adult or Cartoon Network, 11
really?
years.
That's crazy.
And then you got Gendy Tartakovsky. He's the guy that did Dexter's Lab, Samurai Jack, and then
Okay. Yeah, I like Samurai Jack. I used to watch it a long time ago.
you see the new episodes of it.
There's new episodes of it?
They finished the series.
Really?
Yeah, I want to say it's on HBO Max. You don't need to
Yeah.
watch the first all the stuff in the the old show.
Yeah.
But I mean you'll know more. But it's good.
That's pretty cool. I've tried to get the boys into some of the older cartoons. Like they like the Samurai Jack a little bit because they just kind of watching it, and then like they'll watch. I've tried to get them to watch like the old G.I. Joe stuff because we had a bunch of those recorded because it came on. One
See,
of the
that's a little
channels.
bit even after me.
Yeah. Like I used to. Oh man, dude, I used to love He-Man. I'm waiting for the new one to come out. Masters of the Universe.
I saw some of the animation from that.
Kevin Smith, right? He's on that one. Or he's one of the producers or something.
I'm sure he has something to do with it. It's Kevin
yeah,
Smith.
Yeah, because the old He-Man, or man, I used to love that stuff when I was a kid. I used to have a cat that was named Battle Cat. Stuff like that when I was a kid. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I don't know, man. Kids watching G.I. Joe, it seems a little bit different.
It's a lot different, man. It's a lot different watching stuff as an adult. I'll tell you, like, a movie that I loved when I was a lot younger was The Last Starfighter. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Oh my gosh, you need to watch it.
I've recently come into love with old 70s and 80s horror movie, like Evil Dead 1, 2, and 3.
Oh my gosh, I love
Awesome.
the Evil Dead. Yeah.
Did you watch the series on HBO?
Some of it, like I got like half of it. I've got like half of it.
It's B-movie Bruce.
I just love Bruce, man. Bruce Campbell, dude. He's like, oh god, I just love him. I knew a girl who was a model in Florida, and she was on that detective show that he was on USA. I can't remember the name of it, but she was like, got to be an extra or something. And then I asked her, I was like, well, so you got to meet Bruce Campbell? How was that? Like, she's like, who is it again? Like, what is he? I was like, you were on the freaking show with him.
It's Bruce
like,
fucking
he's
Campbell.
Like the co-star of the show. And it's like, you know, you just walked around in the background, didn't you? That's what I was thinking. I was like, you just walked around in the damn background, not paying attention. But that's probably what your job was. So,
you know the movie The Thing? The old, where they're in, was it Antarctica and something, like this blob is killing people?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
That's Kurt Russell, right?
Yeah, I think it's Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
I got really lucky because the first time I saw that was in theaters.
Really?
So in Charleston, there's a theater that every, like around October, every day they'll have a showing of an old horror movie. Like they did Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, The Thing, and I think they did a Chucky movie or something like that. But it's just old movies you can watch in the theater.
Okay.
So I got to watch that. I love the practical effects in that. Same with the reason I like, Evil Dead 2.
Did you, do you listen to like many audiobooks or anything like that?
I need to. All the other people on here do.
I like them a lot because I'll jump back and forth between podcasts and like audiobooks because I do like the self-improvement audiobooks and just different things I want to learn about. And sometimes I just like the sci-fi story ones. Like if you like this one's like military sci-fi. It's Expeditionary Force by Craig Allison, and R.C. Bray's the narrator, and he has an excellent voice for narrating. But it's a really, really good series, and I mean, I'm talking long audiobooks, like 18 hours.
Well, my issue with that is I'll zone out, and then I'll have to rewind to listen to what they're saying.
Well, I feel like that's kind of the point. Like, it's just like background noise. It just kind of gives you like
I do that when I'm driving.
Yeah. Well, I just listen to them when I'm at work and just trying to like do stuff that's repetitive, or I'm just trying to zone out purposefully a little bit. But there's some of the audiobooks that are really good. Now, all right, did you like that Ready Player One movie?
Never watched it. I never watched it. No, I never watched it. I really don't watch movies.
Okay. I listen to the audiobook. I think the audiobook's a little bit better, and plus it's narrated by Will Wheaton from Star Trek.
Wheaton?
Will Wheaton. I think that's how you say his name.
Will Wheaton from Big Bang Theory acclaim?
Yep. I never watched much of Big Bang Theory. I've watched a little bit, but just a couple episodes here and there.
It's your standard sitcom.
Yeah.
It's like Friends, or it's like, But no, Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton, yeah. Say that 5 times fast.
Will Wheaton. That's only 4.
Yeah.
For now.
Or something like that.
Yeah, David, I thought it was like 189.
Yeah, 189 or anyways 215, because I think I wrestled 215 and then there was heavyweight.
Right.
So we didn't have a heavyweight at that point. So Bossy had to step up and wrestle. A 189 wrestler had to wrestle at heavyweight.
That's
cheap.
He got Ray. Yeah, so he wrestled Ray.
Ray's 6'5".
I know.
6'6".
Ray's a monster. Ray's like he's like a
full-grown
genetic
athlete. He's a
experiment
big
that
man.
went right.
Yeah.
It's like, well, anyways, so they're wrestling, and Bobby, he was like a light 189er, like he was on the low side of that. So they're out there wrestling, and Ray, Ray's like 250 in high school. He got a full beard and everything. Well, like he just basically, like they wrestle or whatever, and Ray goes to shoot and take him down, and Bossy kind of falls over on his back. Like it wasn't like purposeful, but he falls over on his back, and then Bossy's holding on. Ray just does like a push-up off the mat and just stands up with Bossy on his back and starts walking around. And just walking around that mat, and here's Bossy just hanging on. And like, it's bad, man. It was real bad.
I remember going to rural.
That might have
They
been,
had a good
yeah.
wrestling program back then, man. Because I
Yeah.
think I can't remember if I drew Darren Crowder or Ernie Walker.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Ray sent some people to the hospital. Because we was out there like practicing before we were treating somebody, and somebody left in the ambulance one time. I remember that. Because those dudes went pretty hard.
We ran into a coach the other day from Auburn.
Mm-hmm.
Was doing some, talking to him about doing some floors.
Yeah.
We told him we was from Fort Chisholm. He was like, there was a game that we went to, I played against y'all. He's like, man, I had a boy get his jaw broke. Remember when Dusty speared that boy in his jaw? Kid said it was like, dude was like, Eric goes, that was 1996. And he's like, I believe it was. He said if it wasn't 96, it was 97. And he said, I'm telling you, he said he hit that boy. I had to wheel him out of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But the next morning, all through school, it was like Dusty Richardson speared that boy right in his jaw. Broke it.
You remember Alex
Alex, yeah.
from Priester?
Oh, yeah.
You know you broke a kid's jaw named Chucky, right?
When he was younger.
Yeah,
Alex
do you remember?
was left-handed. You better watch old Alex, man. Alex don't bother nobody, man. But you mess around, you make that mistake. Alex will light your head up.
So where are we at, Brian?
What?
Where are we at?
We're in the middle of Wise County, Virginia.
What are we doing?
We taking in the
We
view.
getting wise and wise, man.
We getting wise. We in wise. We drinking beer. And we about to win something.
We legally smoking marijuana?
Allegedly.
No, it's legal here. I don't give a shit.
I can neither confirm nor deny any allegations about said activity.
Well, Nick's not.
How do you know?
Because he's trying to get a job.
What kind of guy's trying to get a job right now? Everybody trying not to work.
Man, I've wanted to be a dancer for years and do that.
You want to be a
Oh.
dancer?
Y'all ready to pick a steak?
Oh, is it? Hold on.
Is that what?
Fuck Skeeter dogs.
Hey, they got a real good crab cake up in there, though. That place sucks, man.
I'm learning a lot of things sucks about this trip. The other thing is that you can go and buy a cheesecake and sprinkle bacon on top and be a 5th place winner in anything.
And 4th and 3rd.
Yeah. Fuck those people.
Nah, man. I feel like I've been had.
Me too, but it's not
I'm
just...
not totally disappointed, and I don't feel like I'm a sore loser. But how's a dude that shows up with deer meat, wrapping it in bacon, get the second lowest score for creativity when the guy beside of me that got 5th place, not 12th place, but 5th place, went to the fucking food city, bought a cheesecake, sprinkled bacon on it, put maple syrup on it, and a parsley flake?
It's bullshit.
Now, what part of me hunting this deer on the Appalachian Trail, shooting it with a bow, and then bringing it to your small town to cook it in a anything bacon category was not creative?
I think they just saw it as bacon wrapped meat. Because do you tell them what it is?
I didn't tell them what it is.
They probably don't know what it is.
Oh, they probably think it's some kind of flank steak.
I mean,
But the bottom line is, if it would have been filet mignon, a damn cheesecake still was going to beat me. Now, I would like to try a BLT spring roll, and
that's what won first, was a BLT spring roll.
I'm all about it. And I'm sure that cheesecake would have been real good with if you would have had that deer tenderloin wrapped in bacon and them baked beans that old gal had a couple booths over.
And some chanterelles.
Chanterelles, I'd take a piece of that cheesecake for dessert. But it ain't no 5th place cheesecake. I've eat cheesecake. Bacon don't make cheesecake.
If you made a bacon cheesecake, I'd be impressed. But when you're running to the Dollar General and you're just putting bacon on, you put bacon on top of a cheesecake and call it a day. Oh, here's a mint leaf and
Should've
some
just
parsley underneath. Fuck out of here.
Wrapped a bacon and wrapped hot dog and said, here you go, boys.
Look, what you need to do is wrap the deer meat in the bacon.
I did.
No. Listen again.
Vice versa.
Yeah. You gotta get them bacon, like you gotta wrap the meat in that.
I was, all in all, it was a great time. Good people.
No, it was awesome.
there was a lot to be learned. But, I didn't know it was a category that's called anything bacon. I never thought was going to be a dessert category.
I mean, you can have good bacon desserts. I've had good bacon
I've
desserts.
had bacon on donuts. I get it. But we had a cookout. We had a cook-off. We had a cooking competition. Not a baking competition. We cooking steak. Tomorrow they're doing pulled pork, ribs, brisket. I mean, come on, man.
And you're buying cheesecake.
That wasn't even a homemade cheesecake. That hurt.
Brian, I think we need to do this every year.
That hurt my pride.
I think I need to come out here every year when you go to Wise, Virginia, hang out with Clay Norr Smith Jr., the ex-mayor.
The former mayor, 26 years.
Grew up, raised there, renting his house there. He rides a motorcycle.
Been to Sturgis 18 times, he said.
And he charges affordable rent. And that's what I respect the most. $650 for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath on top of a mountain.
He said he told the cops not to be bothering people.
This is he's like, hey, he's so cool. He's like, when he's mayor, he's like, hey, officer, if these kids are being polite and being respectful, don't bother writing them a ticket. Now, if they're being little assholes and being shitheads, yeah, write them a ticket.
Get their money.
John Woo's boss.
Because there's a little college right there. UVA Wise, there's a legit little college there. It's the middle of nowhere. And I kind of wonder how Nick feels like.
He's listening to this right now. Nick, we're talking to you.
I know, but man, like, I feel like his steak
Was good.
That dude that got 9th place gave us some steak before Nick's turned in. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
The preacher guy. And I just felt like Nick's steak was as good, if not better.
I think, well, the one we tasted, because you get 2 steaks.
Yeah, but when we ate of Nick's was his second steak. It was Nick's second one, too.
I know.
It was both of them was backup steak. I don't know, man. 26th out of 29th place, man. He works hard for this. Like, he really does.
No. And
Taught me everything I know about barbecue.
Yeah, no, he taught me so much this weekend. If I didn't know all that stuff, I would have messed everything up. I wouldn't know to put my green butter on the back end, which is the reason I got 22nd is because those judges don't have refined palates.
They're not very cultured.
They want to see you put marinades and barbecue sauces on it. Fuck you. I had grade A salt,
really
grade A
legit.
pepper.
Cambodian pepper, straight out of...
Red Cambodian peppercorns. I was also going for a nice mineral salt. And then smoked Wagyu beef fat. I was going for subtlety. It's a bunch of simple ingredients that are enhanced. It's rigged. I think they throw in a couple ones every now and then. But if you're not... That's why they make you say who you're cooking by. Because then they know if you're going to win next year.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, what would they? What if I would have... If this guy... not this guy, because that spring roll was probably good.
That spring roll is probably fucking banging. Like a BLT spring roll.
I can imagine it was off the chain.
Especially if you get nice crispy lettuce.
It'd have to be crispy lettuce. But my point is, if I would have won and I got to stand up there and they're like, what was you cooking with? Well, grill somebody gave me 2.5 years ago for Christmas because he didn't like it. What kind of charcoal did you use? The last little bit of Kingsford I had. You know, so what did you cook? Well, I shot Bambi. I put the inner loins wrapped in bacon on that grill, and I fed it to you. I think I would have been a little bit embarrassed, a little bit, but I'd have rolled with it. If they would have asked me to thank my sponsors, I would have had to thank Anheuser-Busch for making the Busch Light. Marlboro, of course, for just keeping me going.
I would...
The mayor. Again, the mayor.
Clay Norr Smith Jr.
Famous around them parts. But all in all, it's a good time.
Oh, no, I'm going back. Like, steak cooking competitions are fun.
They're doing one next weekend just up the road.
I wish I can go. I gotta work.
The same people will be there. Same people.
What, is it gonna be Mark? Is it gonna be Mark with the same whack ass cheesecake he got from Kroger's?
I'll sabotage that cheesecake.
Get to call the officials over. Can you do this?
Well, evidently you can. I mean, surely they know they wasn't out there making cheesecake.
And that's the thing. I wouldn't mind if he made that cheesecake. He didn't make that cheesecake.
If it was a homemade cheesecake, now we talking, man.
You've impressed me. I would want that cheesecake. Like Swanky, our pastry chef, he would make, like, if he was doing that, he'd make a bacon cheesecake with bacon ice cream and a bacon caramel sauce. topped with candy. He would murder you with bacon.
That's what bacon cheesecake I thought was.
Yeah, not just crumbles on top.
It was literally like 6 crumbles on a slice with just some kind of maple syrup. He had 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
He had 2 cheesecakes. He turned in 6 slices. How come I didn't get to try the cheese? That's another thing. Nobody told me to garnish underneath my plate.
Well, they did, but you didn't join until 20 minutes before it started.
I'm saying nobody told me that it was an option. Until the chef's meeting, the cook's meeting. That's when I'm like, I'm
saying,
out.
What was the auxiliary last time you went?
I ain't never seen an auxiliary.
If they do anything but bacon again, Brian, kill them. Get some of that chanterelle butter.
Oh, see, if we could go back and know. If I would have known yesterday we was doing that, we would have.
Save them chanterelles.
We would have saved the ones we ate last
Those are good
night.
grilled, I bet, too.
Oh, I bet they'd be real good wrapped in bacon. You know? What if I would have used that as my garnish?
What you need to do is take the bacon and roll them into roses.
Should have put the chanterelles right on top of that. Them medallions of deer tenderloin and
Yeah, just a nice
use the
chanterelle.
tenderloin as my garnish.
If I knew that competition was like that, I would have done something like that. Because it's like, it feels pretty free range. It's like, what you got's what you got.
I ain't gonna lie, if I was gonna do that, I'd hit the Hilltop Market in Giles County, Virginia, and just get a bacon donut and be like, yeah, so here you go. Anything bacon.
Yeah, it's anything fucking bacon, eat my ass.
I mean, that was the title of the auxiliary or whatever they called it. Anything bacon.
But I can't wait to go back.
That's addictive.
Mm-hmm.
It's addictive.
I think, until I walk,
The food was good.
that's what I'm going to do.
Like,
No.
the food around there was good.
We had a baked potato stuffed with cheese and pulled pork.
Man, I had a pig dog that was a hot dog with bacon on it and barbecue. I probably should have turned that, man.
Yeah, turn that in.
I should have turned that in.
Oh, what? Not here, I'll put 2 strips of bacon I put on there, so now it's
Yeah.
mine.
The Hormel Black Label, that's me. I go with the hot olive bacon. I even put a hot olive bacon on there. That dude didn't have nothing special. Them beans that lady cooked
Look,
was
those-
better than
look.
that cheesecake, I'm telling you.
And those beans are better than your deer tenderloin. And that's not to be mean,
I
that's just
know.
what, you said it yourself.
No, but that would have made a nice plate, man. That deer
Oh.
tenderloin with them beans. And then some of that for dessert. Shh. Probably wouldn't even wanted the spring roll. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's done that a couple of times. He looks like someone that only does auxiliaries. I tell you what, if I would have won a golden ticket and already had one, Peggy would have got mine. Or Nick, then Peggy.
Yeah, you'd have to give it to
I'd
him.
have to give it to Nick.
Yeah, because he does, man. He really...
His steaks are good.
His steaks are damn good, and he really wants people to learn some of the stuff he's picked up, man.
I
He
have.
taught me so much about barbecue.
Barbecue's
It's
not.
funny.
Even he was talking about barbecue's not for him. It's expensive. It's like a 3-day event.
It's expensive. It's time consuming. He does catering, man. He caters like
Mm-hmm.
weddings and this and that for people, and does good with his barbecue. But it takes up a lot of his time. I mean, you got a full-time job, twins, and a wife. Somebody's wanting you to sit there and babysit a smoker. You know. At least with the steak, you're turning in and
It's a day.
you know, I mean,
Yeah.
really legitimately, if we was driving up the road, we wouldn't have had to have got there that early. We could have just been like, all right, we're there for the cook's meeting at 3. Cook a steak, 12 minutes, whatever long it took, 6 minutes.
Yeah, because cooking it's 135 on one side, and you turn it 135, flip it 135, flip it, or turn it 135.
But you're flipping it at a 45-degree angle with a grill mate's spatula
And a
designed
grill
for
grates.
a grill grate grill that works perfectly and gives you the perfect grill mark.
And they do.
They're legit.
Too legit to quit.
Everybody's doing it. But it gets a little pricey. It's a little expensive.
Well, no, even the steak thing. What you need to do is you need to plan a vacation, and that's just one of the days that you do it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to Atlanta.
I'm going to Savannah, Atlanta, whatever.
And there's a competition, and then the other day we'll go to the zoo, and then hit the aquarium, and there's a vacation.
Right. Well, that's probably what a lot of these people do.
And that's what I did.
Yeah, we'll get out and about, man. Get on the Appalachian Trail, go hunt mushrooms, whatever. But there ain't no zoo around here. A bunch of hillbillies.
It's perfect out here. Perfect.
It's peaceful, that's for sure. You know?
I don't want to do
Stars
nothing.
just all right, hanging low.
I can see all the constellations. And weed's legal up here in Virginia. Noob Show ain't coming back from you from Oklahoma or Portland. Portland, where everything's legal at. That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's a little sketchy there, man. I mean, they're like wanting to do recreational amounts of like heroin and
Here's the thing, though. If you can handle it and your life goes well, go for it, man. If you're able to keep, like, you spend a little bit of money on heroin, you're able to do it, enjoy your ride and come back and...
Well, I've been walking this earth for 40 years and I ain't never met nobody that just like little recreational heroin. It's like, well, how often do you use it? It's like every time I get paid. Like,
That's
you
how
got
it is.
some. It's not really like about twice a month I like to go out and do a little heroin.
I bet there's some
So I
people that's like
question what
that.
they're doing.
I bet there's some people that are like...
Virginia's backwards too, bro. Like, it's legal, but there ain't even a store to buy it in. They created a black market, a whole different level of black market. We already had a black market. Now it's a race to who can sell as much as you can before the shops start selling it.
I'm fine with that.
I'm too, as long as nobody gets caught doing it. You know.
Well, thankfully, this wheel was all grown very quickly with magic seeds that we've had.
I
And we
can
used them.
neither confirm nor deny any allegation.
Well, Brian, we're playing characters right now. This ain't who we are.
No, we'll assume that you are probably likely correct on that. Hit it again. But no, it was a good time, man.
I'm going back. Like, I want to do that again. I don't think I'm going to do it competitively yet until I figure out what I need to do. Because I don't want to just throw a bunch of rubs on it. I want to take, like, dried shiitakes and, like, blend them up and, like, make a mushroom
Give
powder.
something unique that they go, that's the one right there.
Mhm.
Set the bar. You know, there's got to be one steak at that table at these competitions. There's 5 judges at a table and they're each eating off of, let's say, 10 steaks. Out of them 10 steaks, there had to have been one that they just said, hey, man, that's the one I want. That's me. That's what I like. It's my preference. Give them something that's different or unique. And that's what I thought I was doing with the deer meat. When they said anything bacon, I figured somebody was going to bacon wrap some jalapeno, bacon wrap hot dog. Threw me for a curve, bro.
The guy who did the
Bacon
spring
wrap
roll,
cheese.
I
I want to try that.
I wasn't even expecting it. I was like, what's he do? Did he do bacon? No, spring rolls? All right, man. You know a little something.
That's
He's been to
creative.
Peking.
That's creative.
We need to sell that idea to Peking. We got an idea for y'all.
Yeah. They got a pretty... Man, Peking's where it's at.
Going tomorrow.
Peking, Withville, Virginia. And I've been going in there so long.
I
it's
got
like,
my mom one time.
Hey, Ed.
She was on the phone ordering Chinese. She was like, well, I was like, give me the cream of some young guy. And she said it.
No.
She hit me. Was like, what do you want? I was like, yeah, I want.
Dude, don't ever get the lobster sauce. We were in Blacksburg and I got this shrimp, some kind of rice with this lobster sauce. Well, when I'm thinking lobster sauce, I'm thinking of that, coconut, like kind of, how they do the coconut shrimp in most of these Chinese buffets.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was thinking, and I'm like, well, that with a little rice and shrimp would be all right. No, man. No, it looks like a donkey just splattered all over that plate of food, and like they brought it, and I'm like, I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at the guy, and I'm like, how'd I tell this dude I ain't eating this? You know what I mean? Like, there's been a misunderstanding. There's a failure to communicate. They're like, down around Blacksburg, they're a little more cultured near Virginia Tech. And it's like, they're real Chinese people. Like, they're like Chinese immigrants. So, you see. It's something else I noticed while we're talking about Chinese and buffets. I'm not knocking either one. I love them all. Chinese
too.
and buffets. But the one in Blacksburg, they don't change. Before this COVID thing, they didn't change their plate.
You don't change your plate.
They didn't get a new plate every time they went to the
You
buffet.
get a new plate every time.
No.
You're supposed to.
Yes, I thought so too, man.
D-Hack probably cracked down on them.
No. Every time I went in there, I'm like, look at this, bro. They literally don't change their plate. Like, but these kids, these college kids they're doing this, and some of their friends, they're like, I guess must be really wealthy from Asia somewhere, but they don't change. 80% of them don't change their plate.
This is why I don't like really going to buffets. Buffets feel nasty. Now, there are some, like when we went to eat crab legs the other week, it felt clean. Like, you got dudes handing out the food. It isn't like...
Yeah, but this is a high-quality Calabash seafood buffet, man. They set a bar. Again, they set a standard.
They're all fucking pirate themed, too.
No, we used to go to one called, I don't know if it was even open, Captain Benjamin's.
I think that's the one... No, we went to Captain George's. They're all like captains. That's all the buffets always coming out of a fucking ship.
Well, you're at the beach. I heard something interesting yesterday. You might need to check it out. Dude was telling me he don't like Reuben sandwiches unless they don't have sauerkraut.
No sauerkraut?
No sauerkraut.
You're not eating a fucking Reuben. You're eating a corned beef sandwich.
Fine with that. I love corned beef. Love rye.
I mean, I'll still eat it
however
too.
they do it.
But I'm saying that's not a...
But
Go on.
he said that there was some pirate that what made cabbage really hit it off way back in the day was that there was some pirate that found out that the soured cabbage would fight off the scurvies or whatever.
Scurvy? It's like some citrus you need for it.
Well,
I mean, that probably has the same stuff in it.
I don't know, but I don't know if the same guy that won't eat sauerkraut on a sandwich. But he said the captain or whatever, main pirate, I guess you'd call him the captain. He tricked his people, man. He put the barrel up on the top deck, for captain and staff only. It was for
Captain only.
Yeah. And what they would do is they'd sneak in there and they'd get a couple spoonfuls all the time.
You got
So
to.
he tricked them into eating it because it wasn't appealing. I mean, it just...
No, I mean, you want some rotten cabbage? No.
No, not me.
You gonna put it in a jar and add salt? I'm in.
Yeah. Yeah, if this is only for the rich, I believe I'll sneak a little.
What's the weirdest shit that's happened to you?
Where? In Wise, here,
No,
there,
in your
or
life.
anywhere.
What's the weirdest thing?
My life's a movie.
I know, but I want to hear,
It's day to day, week to week.
blow my mind, Brian.
What do you mean by being weird?
Never happen again. Like, the chances of it happening.
I sold nickels one time.
Will this get you arrested for telling this?
No.
Alright, go ahead.
I wasn't out actively trying to
No, that's the thing.
pass off nickels. They had a sign that said, "We buy nickels."
And honestly, I would hop
The
on that.
jewelry store was under the false pretense that all currency besides pennies, all change, quarters, nickels, and dimes, 1964 or older were 90% silver. But they thought the nickels were 35% silver. 9 days into this adventure, within the first day the police were called. We went to 7 different banks buying $200 cases of nickels, making about...
Was this you and Nick or you and Tom?
Me and Tom.
Okay.
Yeah, they tried to hem us up. Said that the manager said we poured this money in the Coinstar machine 7 times today. They said there's been some vending machines broke into. Tom said, I hate to hear that, but we've got to go. We've got nickels to sort.
That's terrible.
But that's not even the worst thing that happened. Like, when we found out, we didn't... really thought I was a millionaire there for a minute, man. I'm walking in the store, buy a 6-pack of beer. Back then, it was $4.69. It's give the lady a 5. She's like, you want your change? I'm going, no. The $10 bill that I gave her, I traded in 9 nickels for. And I walk out with a 6-pack. She needed it more than I did. But that's just the craziest thing that's happened. That's not even close.
Well, Ned wanted you to sell. He's trying to give you 200 200-pound bags of nickels.
He tried to give me 2 $5,000 bags of dimes.
A dime.
And 4 $200 bags of pennies. And haul them in a 93 Ranger and bring them back to Virginia because the bank wouldn't accept them because you guys got so much sand around Carolina. They said the money was dirty. And I'm like, bro, you can't send me down. If I my truck breaks down, I can't even lift one of these $5,000 bags. Well, you don't think somebody's going to stop and steal all this money in the bed of the truck?
Yeah, you find a broke down truck. It's like, this got like several thousand.
Yeah, it's just $12,000 worth of just change.
And when they say dirty money, it was literally covered in sand.
But no, I mean, I've just off the wall random stuff. I mean, happens all the time. I find myself into things I didn't necessarily ask for, but just roll with it.
Like how you beat a poker game in 2 days because we left and you got on our family computer and maxed it out so fast.
Yeah, I just wasn't using the right gambling strategy. Yeah.
I don't have a lot of memories when you were staying out with me.
I said I stayed out in the camper a lot.
I know. And
But even then, that was random things.
well, what about when that, was it a 5-year-old made you empty your pockets?
He was 6 in my
6.
defense, yeah.
Let's go ahead and hear this one. This is,
I don't know if I can do that one, man.
why not?
This is just embarrassing.
I mean, you tell it to everybody you know, pretty much.
No, I only told it to y'all at the
Hey,
at
if
the
you don't want to talk, I'll
celebration
take
of
all this
life.
part out.
Well, I just...
Hey, if you don't want to tell, you don't
I
have
must
to.
have been really stoned that day. But, that kid was like, I know you and my dad smoke drugs. And I'm like, no. I don't know where you get this from. Like, what are you talking about?
It's my fucking brother.
Who turned out to be a big pothead. This has nothing to do with it.
I don't know, Brian. Maybe you influenced him.
Because, man, I'm sitting there at the picnic table, high as groceries. Kid comes up singing Rehab. He's like, she was tripping on the bills, I think. I said, what the hell? What are you listening to, man? He's like, Rehab. And I'm like, he's making this up, dude. This is my first time hearing this. I'm like, I'm so stoned right now. This cannot be real. I'm like, give me that, man. This little iPod, whatever thingies, man. You stick it in my ear, and I'm like, man, this sounds good.
That's a good song.
And then I guess he just decided to start interrogating me. That's when the buzz must have really kicked in. I tried to assure to him there wasn't nobody smoking no kind of drugs.
These kids don't know how to shut up. That's the real issue.
He kept going. He's worse than investigator, state trooper, DEA, federal agent. He said, man, I don't believe you. He said, if prove it, why don't you just empty your pockets? But his whole time, he was like, you and my dad be smoking drugs through a purple pipe. I don't smoke pipes. I'm a traditionalist. I smoke a joint. But when he knocked on the camper door, I seen the pipe sitting there, and I threw it in my pocket, but I wasn't thinking about it till I emptied them out and laid them on the picnic table, and the kid looks me right in my face and goes, uh-huh, I told you. And he went right next door and told his grandma on me. And then your dad's sitting there going, Brian, how high were you that you let a 6-year-old strip search you, have you empty your pockets, man? That's what I'm saying. It's embarrassing. But yeah, I've had crazy stuff